Hello guys, welcome back to our course. So this is the Python fundamental course for beginners and this is the module number 7, and in this lecture we are going to see Python functions. So first of all we are going to see what are Python functions or what is function. So now a function is a block of code that can be reused throughout a program. So when we have to uh, perform a task repeatedly or we have to use a block of code again and again, then we use functions. So functions can perform a variety of tasks such as calculating a value, manipulating a data, or printing output to the console. So this type of task can be done by using functions. Functions can also take arguments as input and return a value as output. So argument means we will provide data to that function and it will provide us output. Okay, so now we are going to see how to define functions. So to define a function in Python you can use the following syntax. So this is the syntax for defining functions. So first of all we use def. So def, it is a keyword which is used to define a function. So def means define. Then this is the function name. Then we will use this curl, this is the brackets we are going to use. This parenthesis we will use for arguments. So this is the def, this is the keyword, then we will provide function name, and in the brackets we are going to give arguments, and at last we use these colons. So this is how we can define a function, but this is not completed yet. Now after that we are going to perform a task in this block of code. So here we will write a code in which that function will perform some specific task. So this is how we can define functions. So now we are going to see this in detail in further slides. So let us understand first how to define functions. So we have so the def or def keyword tells Python that you are defining a function. So def keyword is used to tell that this is a function and we are going to creating a function. So now the function name is the name of function. So we are creating this name and we are using underscore for the space. We cannot use space for I we cannot use space here because there are some rules. We have already seen that. The arguments are the input parameters to the function. So we are going to provide data here and it will perform task and it will consider that argument. Okay, so the code block is code that function will execute. So now this is the block of code which perform a specific task. So now how we can call the function. So calling function means now we have created a function. Now when we have to use that function, so we are going to call that function. So now to call a function in Python we can simply use this following syntax. So now how we can call that function. So it is very simple. First of all we use function name, and in that brackets we are just giving data as argument. So this is how we can call the function. This is very simple and everyone can understand that how we can call. So calling a function is very simple in Python. Like we consider that we have created one function whose name is my function. So for example, to call a function which name is my function, so we are going to use following syntax. So first of all we will provide the name of that function and just we are going to use this curly brackets. Sorry, this is the parenthesis. So we are going to use parenthesis and we are not providing any arguments here because we can create a function which don't have any arguments or parameters. So this is without parameters we can also create a function. So function parameters. So what are the parameters of functions? So function parameters are the input parameters of a function. So we are going to give input data to that function and it will perform task on that function or on that data. When you call a function you can pass value to the function parameters. So these values are then used by function code. So we will give input and it will provide us output. So function return values. So what are the return values? So a function can return a value as output. So parameter is a input and return value means it is the output what we will get after executing that block of code. So this is known as return or output value of that function. So a function can return a value as output. To do this, you use a return keyword. Return is a keyword or reserved word which is used to get return value from function. For example, the following function returns the sum of two numbers. So now we are going to create one function which will add two numbers and it will return the sum of that. So now I am creating a function which is used for addition of two numbers. So now how we can do that? So first of all, I am giving a keyword. Def keyword is used for defining a function. So I am defining a function and the function name is add two numbers. And in the brackets, I am providing two numbers or two parameters and the name of that numbers are a and b. After that, we are going to use these colons. Now this is a, we have defined the function. Now we have to provide a block of code in which our task will be performed. So now what we have done, we have defined a function. Now we are going to return a sum. So now return keyword return a value of that function. So now return a plus b. So it will perform a plus b and that value will be returned to us. So now we have created one function which is used to perform addition of two numbers. Okay, so we have created a function. Now we have to call the function. How we can call and how to print that return value. So first of all, we are going to use this function. So we know that how to call the function. So now we have called the function add two numbers in bracket. I have provided two numbers 10 and 20. Now but it will just return, it will not print until when we will provide the print statement. So for printing the numbers we have to use this print statement and after that we will get our output. So now when we provide this arguments or parameters, then 10 will be assigned to a variable and 20 will be assigned to b variable. After that what will be done here? After that it will perform addition task. So a plus b, so 10 plus 20 is 30, so it will return a 30. So now it will be written here but it will not print until we provide print statement. So when we provide print statement it will print it here on our console. So we get this output as 30. So this is the simple code. So now we have done and we have created our first function which is used for adding two numbers. Now now we are going to see scope of functions. So what is the scope? We are going to see this. The scope of a variable is the region of code where the variable can be accessed. So scope means from where, it is a location from where we can access the specific variable. So now variables defined inside a function are only accessible within the function. So this is known as local variables. So it can be accessed only from within the function. It cannot be accessed from exit of the function. We cannot access it from outside of function. However, you can pass variables defined outside a function to function as arguments. So we can pass the function as arguments. Now you can also use the global keyword to access variables defined outside a function from within the function. So this is the scope of function. So now we are going to see benefits of using function. So what are the benefits of using function? So there are various benefits of using function. So first of all is code reuse. So we can reuse that block of code again and again. We don't have to write that code again and again. Function allow you to reuse code throughout your program. This can save your time and effort. Also it can save your memory. Now modularity, function make your code more modular and easier to maintain. And readability means you can easily read your code. So if you provide your source code to another person, so he can also read that easily and it can be also easily understandable. Testability, function make your code more testable. So you can test your code. This make your code simpler. Now we are going to conclude our lecture. So first of all, we have seen how to create functions, then we have seen how to define functions, then we have seen what are the parameters and what we have to perform, and what is a block of code. Then we have seen scope of variables or scope of function, then we have seen one example, and after that we have seen benefits of functions. So this is all from my side, guys. So if you have any doubt, then please ask me. I will try to answer each and every question. So thank you guys. Take care. Bye.